What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Fealys Clutch. It's been a long time since we had an interview, and I have a friend that I actually started in this hobby with right around the same time. We've been kind of in and out of contact, so I'm pretty excited to have her on and to have her restart our interviews. So give a big hand to Miss Breandilyn. How you doing, lady?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Trying to get back in the groove of this again. It's a little intimidating when you take a break.
Yes, YouTube is extremely intimidating.
Oh man. So we've known each other what, three or 4 years now?
I
Maybe a
think
little
so.
longer.
I, I
Almost 5.
think I think almost 5 because this is my fourth season. So
Okay. Yeah.
I
Because
think
you got
almost five
started right
years.
away. Wow. Time's flying.
Yes, it
It's
does. Oh my
crazy.
goodness.
Crazy. So when you first came into the industry or the hobby or however you want to say, because everyone obviously uses different words all the time,
Hmm.
and I catch myself doing it all the time too. But when you first came in, did you kind of have a clear path on what you wanted to do? Were you like a lot of people and you were just like, oh, this is pretty and this is pretty and this is pretty, what am I gonna
Mm,
do? um, did you take the
so,
time to really set a market for yourself, or did you like,
gosh, no.
what happened? What was the start of Texas Belle Exotics?
So it was like shortly after I bought my first house, I got my first snake, and it was a male banana. And then I was like, ooh, I want another snake. And then I started learning about all these different genetics and morphs, and clown is what drew me in. So I just kind of started from there. But it wasn't like a set plan. I wasn't all over the place, but it wasn't like a straightforward plan,
It
so to
wasn't like
speak.
me where I was just like, oh, pretty snake, oh, pretty
Yeah,
snake,
no,
oh,
no,
pretty snake.
it wasn't like that. I'm a
Ah,
little
shit, I
bit,
just got 10 males and I got 1 female. I gotta go.
yeah, no, I think I started out with like 2 or 3 males, and then that's when I started getting females.
Okay.
But I'm very, I guess, particular about certain stuff, so I'm not just gonna on a spur go and buy a whole bunch of random snakes.
That's good. That's good. That's a good mentality to have. When you first started, did you ever think it was going to become like a breeding hobby for you, or was it just, I just want these snakes?
Mm, at first, it was I just want these snakes, and oh, they can breathe. That seems easy enough. Maybe I can just try it out, and then it's just like that addiction set in.
Right.
So,
And you're kind of in the best place in Texas for this, in all
oh yeah,
honesty. Like, you got breeders all around you, so like there's like unparalleled mentorship up there.
yeah.
Tell
It's
me kind of how you got started on the process with your mentors and what you did.
Ooh, so I'm typically a really shy person in public at first until getting to know somebody. It's funny enough, it took me going to Chicago to actually work up the courage to introduce myself to Earl at Lone Star. And it was actually Reggie that forced me to talk to him.
There you go.
And then after that, every once in a while, I'll go out to his place, just kind of chit chat a little bit. Um, Other than that, most people that I speak with is on Instagram.
I
Just
think that's
because,
how we connected too, is like
yeah,
we started through that, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be at, I was on like that huge YouTube kick. Well, not that I'm off of my YouTube kick, like I'm still doing it. Not at the
yeah.
level I was, but um I was like, hey everyone, I'm going to all these shows and I'm gonna act all crazy. And
Yeah, because I messaged you on Instagram, and then we met at that first NARBC.
yeah,
So yeah, that's mostly how I talk to anybody is on Instagram, if I do. I just kind of keep to
awesome.
myself.
uh, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, you got your goals and you're really striving to do what you want to do in life, and That's where this comes from. So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it. So what's the day job for you? Like, what are we doing?
I am a dog groomer, well, and cat groomer. I do both. I've been doing that for 12 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's that like?
So,
Like what's a day in the grooming life like?
ooh. It's rough. You're on your feet all day. You're dealing with dogs. Most of them don't like to be groomed. Some of them do. It's really nice when I have my regulars that come in, dogs that I've been doing for a while, so they know me. They're happy to come see me and all that stuff. No, yeah, it's straight work, and I'm the type of person, once I start working, I don't like to stop. I don't like to stop to eat. I don't like to stop to do anything. I just like to get my work and get it done. So
That
it's
makes for
hard
some
work, but
long
it's fun.
days, man.
Yes, yes, it does.
So you said 12 hours a day almost?
No. So I've been doing it for 12 years, but most of
Oh,
my
12.
days will be like 8-hour days. Usually around
Okay.
like holidays, that's when I'll work like 10 to 12-hour days.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the worst.
And then how big is your collection now?
I think aside from hatchlings, I have okay, no wait, I think total I have like 50 to 60 snakes.
Okay.
15 of those are breeder females. I only have like 3 or 4 breeder males, and then the rest are grow ups from last season.
Nice.
And then some of the new hatchlings from this season. Yeah.
So we're right around the same size right now.
Yeah. Hopefully keep it
So
small. Not too much bigger than this.
So that's the plan. It's
Like,
just straight hobby for,
yeah,
well, at least for now.
at least for now, I kind of like, excuse me, I kind of like Ozzy's way of doing it. I know he does have quite a few snakes, but I like smaller collection, but higher quality. So I'm
Yeah.
building to that higher quality so that way I can keep it small and manageable where I can just do it myself.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
So,
We were talking about it a little bit, and you said that you're bringing in your rodents right now,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
What's some of the, well, first off, I guess, with you bringing in rodents, are you doing like frozen thawed? Are you doing lives? Are you doing like,
No, I frozen. I mean, no, not frozen up live. I did frozen thawed for a short period of time, but once the collection reached, I think like 20 snakes, I was just like, no, this is too time consuming.
yeah. It takes a
Thawing
lot of
out.
time, and it's hard
Yes.
to say, hey, I'm gonna throw $400 a month at just rats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely feel
And
that, dude.
and I was also finding that I was wasting a lot of rodents because I had some that
Hmm.
wouldn't switch over, and then when they finally did, if it's not at that perfect temperature, or if they don't eat it right away, then it starts to stiffen, and then they just don't want anything to do with it. Ball pythons, finicky
And
eaters.
that's solely what you're working with right now, right? Is just ball pythons?
Yes, I have one green tree python, but that's strictly a pet.
Okay. Nice. Oh, I feel you. I went back to live myself, and it's been frustrating to say the least because of the weather changes, and like I brought in a portable AC, and like I've brought in multiple commercial fans and all the stuff that's supposed to be circulating, and it's working. And some days it's really fine, but if it hits a certain degree out here, it's working so hard that it pops the breaker. So now I got to bring in an electrician, which I was trying to avoid, but looks like there's no way around it. I'm gonna have to have them change my breaker. So
yeah, you're starting to breed rodents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I got it's part of the energy saver package that they do in the housing around here. So apparently they think you only need like 15 amps for your garage, which is like a portable AC and a mini fridge essentially, and then the garage door. So the fact that I'm running multiple fans out there, and I'm running a portable AC in the garage door, and I'm pretty sure my water softener and reverse osmosis system is ran off that
Mm-hmm.
same breaker. So it's a lot. So I
Okay.
need to switch it up to like a 20 or 30 amp, or maybe even a 50, just to make sure I could circulate it 24/7. But
Yeah.
it's part of the pleasure of rats. I mean, there's a lot of work. Like rats are like 10 times more time consuming
Oh
than
no.
the snakes, dude.
But it makes it
Well, mainly
rewarding
because
because you know
like,
where they come from.
yeah, like it's good because I know, okay, they're getting fed right, they're getting watered, uh, they have relatively little stress. It's just like, so I have the wooden racks, I don't have metal racks. So you're checking every day, seeing if you have litters, or if you do the maternal, which is what I'm going to start switching to, because I tend to see a lot of young moms, or like if you leave them in there as a colony and you don't
Mm-hmm.
pull them when they're pregnant, the girls that haven't had a litter yet kind of freak out and try to steal, and if they can't steal them, they tend to kill the babies
Oh
on the first
no.
clutch that happens in the colony, which sucks. But so it's little learning tricks, and it's stuff that I've done before, and now that I'm running through the motions again, I'm starting to remember. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, and if I hadn't taken that 2-year break from breeding rodents, it'd probably be a lot easier. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so you're on live, and you're up. You're what, south of Dallas, I think.
Yeah, right now, so
Yeah.
I am in Arlington right now. So I
Okay.
literally live like 15 minutes from the convention center.
Oh, dang, that's nice.
Yeah, but I'll be moving back to Fort Worth here in about a month or two, which Fort
Okay.
Worth is about a 30-minute drive to the Arlington Convention Center.
Yeah, that's the area that we're looking at too
Fort Worth,
when
yes.
we decide to move, is up by Fort. Well, I'm actually looking up by Saginaw.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that's how
that's
you
like
say it.
yeah, north. That's like
A little bit
northwest Fort
north.
Worth area. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that
It's a
area. It's
little bit more
nice.
country. You get a
Yeah.
little bit more
More
land.
land. Yes, it
Yeah,
is definitely a
exactly.
nicer area too.
So that's where we're looking at right now. But that's probably a year and a half down the road. I got to finish up this college degree real quick first. But
Hmm.
unless some opportunity up there shows its face
Yeah.
with a decent paycheck to start out. So, because cost of living up there is, it's not that it's a lot higher, but it's a like the housing and everything's a lot higher than El Paso. So I just want to make
Hmm.
sure I have something to lean on before we go up there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And then the housing market right now, everybody raising their
Crazy.
prices on their
Oh yeah.
houses and people paying way over asking price. And
People are
yeah,
hitting like
it's been a nightmare.
120% on asking price.
Yeah,
It's
it's been
insane.
a nightmare. It's been a
This
nightmare.
is It'd be perfect if you're trying to sell your first house right now.
Yeah, and which for me it turned out great when I did back in May, but now I'm, looking for bigger and better.
Hmm.
So, but
Everyone's
it's
sitting there waiting for them to throw that 110% bid in and not getting it.
mm-hmm.
Nice. So we're working ball pythons. You're looking to just focus on quality, which is great. I don't I don't know where I fall in that, honestly. Like, I definitely want to say I'm doing like 20 to 30 a year, which I think kind
Mm-hmm.
of kind of limits things, but it's in a smart way. I'd like to say that that's more focused on quality. I know a lot of people that are shooting for 50 to 100 clutches a year, and
Ooh, that's a lot.
I just don't
That's a
need it.
lot of
I couldn't do it
that's
myself. Like,
that's a lot of babies.
yeah,
Like I think
a
maybe
lot of babies.
max I want to do like max total like 25 to 30 clutches
Yeah.
a year, and I'm not even at that halfway mark yet because I think some of my females reabsorbed when I moved earlier this year. Some of them still went surprisingly, but yeah, no, I just don't think I could handle that many babies.
Wow. That's so. I mean, I put out in 5 clutches. I put out 40 babies.
Whew.
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
mom, all the mamas went. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I
That's a
didn't
lot.
have small clutches, so it
That is
was
a
a
lot.
surprising first year of production. But I'm figuring probably once I get to around 150 babies, that's about where I want to max out for right now. I think more than
Yeah.
that, I'm gonna be hurting a little bit. You know. So you said you already have some eggs on the ground, right?
Yes.
What are we looking at right now?
So I just had a puzzle clutch hatch.
Okay.
I did manage to hit one core glow puzzle in that one.
Nice.
The next clutch due to Pip is from Clown Het Desert Ghost to a Cypress Pinstripe Yellow Belly Het Desert Ghost. So that was like my clutch that I'm like banking on this year. So I'm like fingers crossed on that one.
Right.
The other clutch is another puzzle clutch, pastel hypo het puzzle to super pastel puzzle, or super pastel het puzzle. So that one's a repeat from last year. And then the fourth clutch is that same pastel hypo het puzzle mail to a super blackhead hypo.
Mm. What do you think about that blackhead stuff?
I love blackhead. I need
Yeah.
more of it. I need and I want more of it.
It's there's definitely some things coming out of that project that are making
like
my wheels turn, that's for sure.
I want it in Desert Ghost. I want it in Clown. I want it in Puzzle. I want it in Monarch. Like everything needs blackhead. Everything does.
That's awesome. You're in the Monarch project?
Yes, I just got
I
in
didn't
it
know you were in it.
recently. I didn't like post or anything like
Ooh,
that. So this is
there you go.
like everybody will
This
find
is the
about it.
reveal.
Yeah, this is
There
like
you
there's
go.
a few people that know, but not very many people know. Yeah, I bought a mail off of Miri
Okay.
earlier,
Nice.
like a month or two ago, I think.
Okay. You pick up a male or a female?
Mail.
Smart girl.
Yes.
I
So,
messed up. I got a female. I'm working to fix that.
oh, well,
My
see,
pocketbook's not going to appreciate it, but I'm going to fix
I
it.
originally messaged her for a female. She didn't have any available. She had a wait list to work through. Um, but then I went ahead and got a male because one came available. But yeah, so that's
Very
me in
nice.
the Monarch project.
That's awesome. I'm talking to her a lot, actually. That's been a project that I'm really excited to see what a lot of people do with it.
Yeah.
A relatively young project, so there's a lot of potential in every direction for it. So,
And sorry.
oh, you're good.
Stuff is about to die because I'm not fully prepared. But that's like one thing I really like about the Monarch project and the Puzzle project. Like, yes, they're older projects, but they're not worked that much.
Right.
So there's a lot to do with both of them.
What was your initial reaction when you first laid eyes on it in person? Because I know you probably saw it at Tom's at Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it before then?
No,
Or was that your first?
the first time I saw it was YouTube, obviously, but seeing it in person was the like at Arlington was the first time
Okay.
me seeing it in person. I just like how dark, like it's really dark, and the contrast. I really like that.
It already carries the contrast. That's one of the
Yes.
things we were talking about too. I was like, man, like there's just you look at it versus the other T positives, I feel like the browns are richer. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot more contrast throughout all the patterning. So it's going to be a fun project for sure. Obviously, a lot of people are jumping on Ultramel too. So it's been kind of a fun
Mm-hmm.
play on whether your
Oh
team
yeah.
Monarch or team
I
Ultramel and all
I
that.
laugh at all the stuff I see. 'Cause it's so funny because I do like some of the Ultramel stuff, but the only Ultramel stuff that I like is the stuff that's mixed with darker genes, like the
Right.
GHI Ultramel, the Leopard, the Blackhead Ultramel, those ones.
No, for sure. And I think that's been a good way for us to kind of judge kind of what the Monarch will do, but obviously I think there's going to be some subtle differences between what you see with Ultra Male and Monarch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great project that has just nothing but room for improvement for the next 20 years. Like I don't think we're even going to be able to tap into a lot of it yet, just because so few people are working the project at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I mean, I've seen some people that have had some pretty decent clutches, I think lately involving Monarch.
mm-hmm.
And I think
I mean,
most
it's
of
coming
those
around.
clutches have been like putting it with other recessives.
Right. And that was my whole goal when I brought my female in, was I want to put that into a double right away. And then I was like, you know what? By next year, I'll have probably close to 10 GHI females that are
Mm-hmm.
to size. And I was like, I need to bring a male in. I need to just get it into
Mm-hmm.
GHI, because everything in my collection revolves around GHI in the
GHI.
first place. So
You know, I
why
don't have
not?
any GHI in my collection.
I'm going to
And
fix that one day.
it has been on my list to get it in the collection, but I just never see like anything that I must have.
Right.
Like that is available. And if it is available, it gets scooped up real quick. So
Yeah. Well, keep your eyes open. Once they're all eating, I'm about to drop a bunch of stuff, but
okay, well, see, I'll
probably
just
get
pay
some hell
attention.
for it.
Pay attention to what you're producing over there.
And if it's not this year, it'll be in the next 2 years. The stuff that you really want, probably. But so really big in clown. You're really big in puzzle.
Yes.
You finally got into Monarch. What other recessives are you? Because I know you were one of the few smart ones right off the bat. That wasn't like, oh, I really like this and I really like this, and all we grabbed was codoms because they were affordable. Like you intentionally made the right move right from the jump, which was great.
And it's funny because I could still think like I would still go back and there'd be still a few things that I would change as far as like purchases go and all of that. But I'm also in hypo, and then Desert Ghost. I don't have a lot of Desert Ghost, but I'm hoping that changes after this season, like with just stuff I produce myself. Because every time a Desert Ghost email pops up on the market, it's gone.
It's gone.
So
I had to talk to the person. I'll be in Desert Ghost by the end of this year, but I had to talk to the person that produced the ones that I'm bringing in months and months in advance. Be like, dude, just send me the bill. I don't care how much it is. Just send it to me. We'll work it out. And that was like, hey, I'm doing this pairing and this pairing and this pairing and this pairing. What are you looking for? I was like, I don't care. I want a visual male and 2 het females, and just send me the bill. That's all I want.
Yeah, see, I want more visuals. I literally only have the 2. One that's a visual. She reabsorbed this year, so I was like really heartbroken by that. And then the het Desert Ghost female that I have. Those are the only 2. Oh, and that male, that clown het male. That's about it.
So what would you say is like your primary focus with all of your projects?
I want to go darker with a lot of it. But it always just happens that every pairing that I have, what I want to hit on the least is what I hit on the most. And that's happened like with every clutch. I'll get like that one prize jewel in the clutch, and then all the rest is just like, yeah. So,
dude, I feel.
But yeah, I want to go. I want to go darker with a lot, because like Cypress, Confusion, Leopard, Blackhead. I like all of the darker jeans. I like some of the light stuff, but mostly I like the darker stuff.
Very nice. Okay. So out of the dark, if you had to revolve your projects around a dark right now, what would you say is your main focus on the darks? Is it your blackhead? Is it going with confusion?
It's kind of hard to say because like I would say I want to focus more on blackhead, but I don't have very much of it. And I have a few males that I'm growing up from last year that may have blackhead in them, they may not. I'm not really sure. It's one of those was breeded to figure out because I got mixed signals. But I would say blackhead would probably be something that I'd want to focus on.
And I know you're a busy lady with grooming and like looking for your new house. I feel like you kind of took a dip on IG for a while, like a big dip.
Kinda, it was
So
like a
I'm gonna
complete
call you
like.
out. Yeah, I'm gonna call you out on it right now
Please
and be like,
stop.
"Hey, what's going on? Hey, I gave you a warning before."
I know. I will post like on my story maybe once a month, but as far as like post, I take pictures. I take pictures of like snakes and stuff, and then like I just don't post.
There's nothing wrong.
I don't post anything. I think I just at one point I got burnt out, and then there was like a lot of stuff going on last year, and that carrying over into this year, I just have not gotten back on it as far as posting stuff, getting it out there. I'll sit and I'll scroll through Instagram all day. I just won't post anything.
Dude, you're the same as me. Like,
I'm bad. I'm really
there's
bad
months.
about it.
There's months where I freaking like kill the Instagram game, and I'll post every day, and I got like multiple stories, and I feel like I'm just skyrocketing up, right? And then I'll go and I'll stop posting for like a week or two.
Yeah, no. When I started and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this social media thing, I'm gonna be on it. I was like at the start of my week, I was going through and I was making like taking my pictures, making my, description and my tags and just saving them and then trying to like post them every other day or whatever. No, that quickly fell off. Like that energy just dropped.
It happens. I mean, it's not social media is hard, dude. Like I don't think people realize how much time that this really takes. I mean, just this interview alone, I think we've been talking about it off and on for like what, a month and a half.
I think so.
At least.
I think you brought it up at the last Arlington show, and then that like kind of ceased for a little bit, and then for like a month we've been trying to dial in on when to actually shoot this.
It's crazy. The time that it takes just to, and I'm trying to do another channel, which I don't know what the freak is wrong with me.
I don't see how people do it. Like Billy does his podcast and his show and his coffees and convos. I just don't see how they have the time to do it. It's a lot. It's like he's constantly like go, and I don't think I could do that.
You gotta, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I've felt it when you're holding that rate for a while. It's exhausting. Like after this weekend, I got home and the kiddos well, Josiah got sick because he started school this year, and one of the kids in his class was sick. So like, I left the house before it could get spread to anyone because I was out of town this weekend. Well, everyone in the house got sick while I was gone this weekend. I came back, and because everyone's sick, I'm trying to help out with the babies and stuff. So now I'm like,
yeah,
I'm feeling it, but it's getting better. Like it's that typical fall cold that everyone gets, or the flu or whatever, but it is what it is. He'll be back in school hopefully tomorrow. I don't know. His school has a weird policy, man. Like they said that he can't, if he has a fever at all, he can't come back until 24 hours after the fever's finally resided all the way.
All the COVID restrictions.
So it's like it's super strict on how they allow kids to come back now, and then you have to write a note for the teacher and the school and send it back in their backpack and stuff. Like Dude, the way things were when we were in school versus the way I'm dealing with it for my son is like
It was easy
freaking
peasy.
180, dude. Like it was like, oh, you don't feel good? Too bad. Go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need this doctor's note. Let me go talk to your doctor real quick.
To get that note, yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
it's
it's so strict now.
completely different.
I don't even have kids yet, but like hearing my brothers talk about it, all of my friends and my coworkers, and they said the registration process for school this year is like the longest and worst they've ever had to deal with, and I'm just like, no, thank you.
Dude, it was. I mean, it didn't take me too long. Like it takes probably a solid. It takes a solid 2 to 3 hours. In all honesty, because like you have to do the pre-registration for the schools now. Like you have to pre-register to register your child. Like
That's so dumb.
the
That is so dumb.
I don't know. So anyways, I had to like send all this basic information in, and then they copy and paste that throughout the application for the registration, right? And then you have to have all these different forms on the child. Like you have to have the social, obviously, the birth certificate, shot records. You have to send in 2 different bills, like you would for the DMV or something, to prove residence. You have like there's all kinds of just crazy stuff where you're like, are we like, am I signing my kid up for the military right now?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, this
It's
is
school.
it's a little excessive for school. Like, whatever it is what it is. He seems to be enjoying, well, the week that he's been in, he seemed to enjoy so far. So
yeah, I think school over here starts this week.
Yeah,
I think like Thursday or Friday this week, which is weird. But
well, it's so they started over here early because apparently I really wish it was September instead of October, but apparently they do a week or 2 week break in October around Halloween now, and then they do a week break in November for Thanksgiving, and then the 2 weeks in December for
Christmas.
Christmas. But I guess they're giving like extra breaks, especially for the lower grades, because they just don't stay focused long enough. I forgot where I was going. We started talking about kids, and I went off.
We did. I forgot what we were talking about.
Good thing I can edit this.
Oh,
Out of 50
I have micro scale also. I completely forgot about that.
Okay.
So, and that one's just like a little, because I got her in a trade, so that one's just like a little side project that, because she's also a clown, so I'm not gonna like fully work it.
Right.
But it's just gonna be like a side little.
You're gonna use it for like the lightning effect.
Well, yeah, it
essentially, or
yeah, it like really enhances like the pattern. Like I guess if you're like looking at a photo and you're editing it, it like sharpens it up. I guess that's how I would describe it.
Okay.
But yeah, I have that. So
it's kind of like because I don't mess with it. I don't mess with scaleless or micro scale. Even though I've talked to Earl about it a lot, it's not something that's kind of piqued my interest yet. And I have a couple of projects that are just I'm not going to say they're expensive. Like I think they're priced right for what they do. You know what I mean? But they're not cheap. So
yeah,
I'm kind of saving up for that instead,
and yeah, so it's like I got her in a trade, and I don't think I would buy into the project any other way. So I think mostly I'm just going to use her to try to use just that, single gene microscale to enhance certain clown projects. But I would like to have just like one scaleless ball python. I think that's just something cool to have. Every time I go over to Earl's, I want to see the scaleless. So I don't think it's like a project that I want to like fully work.
It's interesting. I've done quite a few videos on it. Or at least I've talked about it in quite a few videos. I remember I had I think it was like an hour and a half discussion with everybody where I didn't have a guest or anything. I was talking to him. I was like, should we even be breeding it? It was one of those plays, you know, like you
Yeah.
throw that clickbait title out to get people to come in and just argue with you because you want the views or whatever. But I'll admit it, I clickbaited people because I like it. It's just like I said earlier, it's not something that's piqued my interest. There's a lot more stuff that piques my interest a little bit more. So, and I'm not trying to go beyond this room at this moment. So,
Yeah.
so I remember your first year, you went really heavy with clown stuff. It seems like you're going pretty heavy with puzzle this year. Are you kind of alternating just to add more recessive pets, or what are like kind of what's your plan? How do you figure out your breeding?
I essentially just breed for what I want to see. So like right now with like my puzzle stuff, I'm kind of like taking the longer route because the male that I have is a het. So when I'm putting him to all of
Oh,
these
you get to play
different
that game.
codoms and other recessives, it's picking out the ones that I think are 100% hets and growing them up and seeing. So I'm just basically producing stuff to help increase my odds later on down the line until I have my puzzle male from last year that's ready to breed.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, I basically just breed for what I want to see, like,
And
and what I want to produce.
is that all you? Is that you reaching out to mentors and kind of saying, "Hey, I want to see this. What do you think about it?" Or is it strictly in house? Everything's in house.
It's all me. I'll reach out to some people to ask like certain questions that I need help with, but when it comes to like picking my pairings, that's all me because I'm the type of person I'm gonna do what I want to do. Someone can suggest something to me or give me advice. At the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do or what I think is best.
Hell yeah, as it should be. I like that.
Ooh, I do have a
Oh,
question for you.
go ahead.
What with your racks? I know you, like myself, you got like a lot of like the TGR racks. What are you switching to next? Like whenever you're ready to like upgrade your racks
I get
and
my
whatnot.
first ARS in about 2 weeks.
Nice. Very nice.
I looked at Freedom Breeder too, but Freedom Breeder doesn't give a shipping cost to you.
Yeah, it's like after the
And
fact.
it's a lot more expensive in the first place. So I was like, I'll just get the
And
ARS.
yeah, I decided to go with Freedom Breeder, so I got like 2 levels of the 70 series just because I
Okay.
needed more space like ASAP. And shipping, the freight, that cost, and I was just like, I should have just waited to get a full rack so that way it just all be the same. But yeah, that's what
Or
I'm gonna
just,
do.
well, hopefully this next year they'll be shipping racks again to shows. So
Yes, because that was like my original plan before COVID hit. When I was finally ready to get Freedom Breeder, I was just gonna pay for it and then pick it up at a show. Save myself all the shipping and freight costs. But nope, COVID messed that up. Like a number of other
well, and
things.
it's such a wait right now too. Like I think
Oh
last time I
yeah.
looked, it's like a 20-week wait. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm deciding that I need this rack, I don't have 3/4 of a year to wait for it.
Yeah.
Or half a year to wait for it, you know? Like
Yeah,
it's
and that's another thing. It's just I gotta prepare myself for the wait, which is something I can do. So I'm not planning on getting any like buying any adult females just quite yet. So everything is
right.
just pretty much grow outs, which I'm switching over to sea serpents for that.
Right.
Just
That's
for like my
well, I mean,
hatchlings and grow outs.
I stole Earl's old ones for the
Yeah,
hatchlings.
nice.
I gotta pick up a couple more just because. So I think I paired seven girls this year. 5 of them
Mm-hmm.
went, and I'm only gonna have 3 empty slots out of
Nice.
2 of those racks. So
Yeah.
I gotta I gotta pick up a couple more before next year.
Yeah, especially if you're keeping most of them.
Not well. I'm keeping most of the females, but
Yeah.
I need them. unfortunately. And like everything's either het clown or het something. Like I'm not really keeping anything that doesn't have a recessive attached to it. So
Yeah, same.
I don't think there's a huge difference as far as quality. Like I've been at people that have freedom breeders. I've been at people that have ARS. I like them both. I will say the one thing that I'm going to be super jealous about, and I might figure out a way to configure for myself, is that sliding shelf that Freedom Breeder has.
ARS doesn't have one of those? I thought they had some sort of concept.
Not yet.
With that.
They're doing so their big thing is the hybrids. So instead of the whole thing being metal, there a lot of the connections are plastic to hold the frame together, which cuts down on the shipping costs, which is why they're able to get it out for so much cheaper now. And I think if Freedom Breeder adopted that, it put ARS in a bad place, but that's neither here or there. That's not my problem.
Well, I thought Freedom Breeder
shelf
was
itself
doing
for like one. I think the shelf is what, like $150 add-on or something like that.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, so I'm going ARS for now, just because it's closer.
Yeah.
It gets done faster, and I'm hoping to not only get a bunch more girls ready for next year that are growing up in my collection, but also potentially picking up some het females that others are letting go this year. So I'm not trying to grow too crazy fast, but I definitely want to put myself on the ability that if this does become the sole income outside of my disability, that we'll be able to still do our move and not have to worry about anything. So
yeah, that'll be nice.
This is weird. I've never had it to where I know I can go back and edit this. So this is a new concept for me. It's kind of nice because we can just sit here and be like,
it's not live.
It's a little more comfortable. You don't have to worry about the comments flooding in and random questions.
Just edit out my weird faces that I make.
Oh, that's not happening. I'm like that huge eye bulge that you put out earlier when you were talking about something where you're just like, it's definitely going in there, dude. It might be the thumbnail. No,
I don't pay attention. Sometimes those facial expressions, they get out of control.
That's good. Just be yourself. You need to be yourself. You're a very shy person. I'm glad that you're open towards me and obviously Earl and people that we're close with, but how has it fared so far in your ability to grow your little business?
So far, I mean, I guess so good. Most of my sales come from Morph Market. I know a lot of people get sales off of Instagram and all that, but you also have to post on Instagram and do the reels and the stories. I don't really do that.
90% of my stuff's come off of Morph Market. Like I put it up for a day or two, and then I have like 5 different emails.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely fared better than I thought it would have. So that's like motive to keep going. I definitely wouldn't want it to be like my sole income. I mean, if it is, that'd be great, but I don't know if I would ever get to the capacity that it is basically just takes over my entire salary and I just do this 24/7. Because then that means I would have to start doing the YouTube and the Instagram.
It doesn't mean you have to, but I mean, it definitely makes...
It would help.
It makes the marketing a lot easier because people know what to expect coming out. So by the time you place it on Morph Market or whatever, it's already sold most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm putting out like 2 or 3 GHI Het Clown males this year. And I know I already have 1, possibly 2 accounted for, and they're still probably 2 meals before I'll even post them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a bad thing, but it's definitely it takes a lot. Like you have to be consistent, but it does help with marketing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just going in a circle right now, but
Yeah,
whatever.
definitely not consistent with it. Definitely, definitely not.
Do you think that's something that you'd like to work on as a project though in the future? Is like work on like public speaking or something in the aspect that would help you kind of break the
Ooh,
shyness or break that shell?
I
Because
have
I know
come.
you and me, when we sit down, we could talk pretty well. Like even at
Yeah.
dinner, it was almost like I don't think we had talked for like a year or so, and we were just like, "Hey, baby, what's up? How you
No, but
doing?"
everybody else at the table, I barely talk to them. And I will definitely say that over the years, I've definitely come out of my shell way more than,
Oh yeah.
say, 10 years ago. So it's just, I guess, that initial interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the type of person I like to sit back and I watch people. And that kind of determines if I'm going to, how I react around you. So I guess it's just mostly the initial reaction, and then I just kind of ease on into it. No, and this is my first interview, and then I think I have another one scheduled with one of the groups that I'm in on Instagram, like kind of guys that I just kind of go back and forth with. So
Look at
there's
you.
one, and so I'm forcing myself to come out of my shell because I could have said no. I could have told you,
I know
no,
you
that's
could
not for
have.
me. I could have told him, no, that's not for me. But
No,
yeah.
I definitely know you could have. I appreciate you for putting yourself out there because you didn't have to.
Yeah, no,
And
I think one of these days I'll fully
I like
come out of it.
pressuring you a little bit, I guess. It's
A
fun
lot of
for
people
me.
do.
I
A
like
lot
to
of
make you
people do.
nervous.
Yeah.
I think that comes from one of our shared mentors, though.
Yeah.
Because I think we both want to push you a little bit more to be more out there.
He picks on me every time about how I had to go to Chicago just to introduce myself to him
Well, I think you.
when I lived like 30 minutes from him, if that.
I think we were texting. Well, we were texting over Instagram, but I think you even approached me while we were at Arlington. I don't think I had seen you yet. I think you caught me off
No,
guard from
yeah.
behind, which is what Precious did too. It's like the
Yeah.
females like come up behind me and say, "Hey, you're John, right?" I was like, "Yeah." It's bad that you know me by the back of my head instead of my face, but yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. And then the guys like come from straight forward. They want to make sure you see them coming, but
Yeah, no. Cause see, like if I approach people from like the side or behind and they don't see me yet, I have that like split second where I can just like change my mind and redirect if I feel like I get too nervous. It's a defense mechanism.
Oh, so you're how many are you planning on this year?
Um, well, I was hoping that I was gonna get like 10 to 12 clutches, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm at I think 7 now with the 3 that should be laying any day. And I think I might have maybe 2 more girls that may go. So,
It's still not.
which I mean, it's
I mean,
still last year I hit 7 clutches, so
it's still an improvement.
not
That's
what I
all that matters.
want. Yeah, not fully what I wanted this year, but next year all of the main girls that I'm like really happy about, like and ready to breed, will be ready to go next year. I really want to get an ultrasound because I'm having issues with 2 of my girls finding their cycle.
As long as you're taking a step forward, which is what I was trying to say with you. As long as I'm going
Yeah.
forward, I'm happy. I think that's the mindset you have to have. I know some people that are bigger with the freeze, it really affected them, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not seeing half of the production that they were expecting this year, but they're still finding a way. And
Yeah, no,
I mean, it's
I got lucky with that because at the time I lived like literally 2 blocks from a dispatch center. So nothing in that area really lost power.
right.
So yeah, I got lucky when it came to that.
Texas Electric made sure that spot was on.
Right? Certain I
Oh,
know certain areas they made sure it didn't lose power.
I know they were good with the hospitals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, so end goal this year, what are we shooting for? Like what's like the prime, if you're willing to share that?
End goal, like you mean as far as like number of clutches and like holdbacks
Like
or
as far as genetics, like what's going to be your holy grail for the year?
my holy grail for the year is if I hit a Cypress pinstripe yellow belly desert ghost head clown, male or female. I would literally be over the moon and the rest of my season could go to shit. I wouldn't care. I'd be just so happy that I hit that animal. But no,
That's I mean that's an
yeah,
extreme powerhouse. I'm
that
proud
would
of you.
be like the highlight.
Oh,
Yeah, that would definitely be the highlight of my season. See, I feel like that's slightly where I messed up, like with my collection is, yeah, I have some like nice females, but I don't necessarily have a whole bunch of like really nice males to put to them, so to speak. Like,
right.
so everything that I'm producing right now, it's me in hopes of trying to produce those future breeder males
Right.
that are nice.
Well,
But
that's
I
one of
mean
the
that,
things you could do too is like you look at your males like, well, I can have a project where I work each of you, or I could sell all these off and find one male that can fit for all of those projects.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I've been taking it
that's
too.
kind of what I did with the monarch male that I got. I mean, that's like the most expensive snake I've purchased. Like the most
You don't have to
expensive
tell me.
single, like just
You
one
don't have to
snake.
tell me.
But I bought him using money that I made off of selling 2 of my holdbacks.
Okay.
So I sold 2 of my holdbacks to get him, which here lately, like most of my snake purchases has come from selling the snakes, like selling certain snakes and then buying other stuff that I
So
want.
you're
So,
already,
which is good because that's like the point I wanted to kind of
yeah,
be at.
you're already in the black then, because you're using it to reinvest yourself. You're not
Yeah,
taking money out of
basically.
your own pocket, so that's good.
So now I just would like to get to the point to where I'm making a profit after, like, enclosures and bedding and paying for food. That'll be nice. But right
It'll
now
come.
they pay for themselves, so that's good.
It'll come.
That's good. The rest will come. And the fact that they pay for themselves is just like, it's great because it doesn't cut into my regular 9 to 5 or anything like that.
Well, this is the part where I usually make people shout out their social medias, and I'm going to put them down in the
Ooh.
description. Anyways, even though you're Miss Antisocial, I'm going to try to force some people your way. So
Okay, that's
if
cool.
you would like
Much
to,
appreciated.
how do we get a hold of you?
Y'all can get a hold of me on Instagram, Texas Belle Exotics. You can do Facebook. I don't really get on that, but mostly Instagram. Yeah, IG and Morph Market.